Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Mukesh. I'm from Chiiz magazine. Today we have Andrea Izzotti from Italy. We will be talking about exploring the underwater photography. Thank you very much, Andrea, for um, joining us, accepting our request to be part of our show. Over to you, and sorry that you had to be. It's a very odd time for you. It's a midnight for you. You made it. Thank you very much. So it's over to you. It would be a one-way communication. All the participant would not be able to hear you, but you can, they can hear you. Like it will not be. There's no two-way communication. We cannot hear. All are muted right now. So you can start, please. Thank you very much.
So, do you hear me? Is okay?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Please carry on.
Okay. Do you see my slide?
We do see you. We do see your screen, but I guess you need to show your PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, I'm sharing, but tell me
Sure.
if you is shown. Can you see?
No, we see the stop screen right now, but if you see that presentation on your screen, we will be able to see it.
Okay, tell me when it's okay for you. One moment. Start sharing again. Okay. Now should be okay. Is it okay?
Yes, so you can put it on
Oh,
presentation mode and we are all good. Thank you.
so hello everybody from Italy. My name is Andrea Izzotti. Actually, Andrea in Italy is a male name. So for the guys who expected a beautiful lady, I am sorry. And for the lady who expected a handsome man, I'm sorry too. Just kidding, guys. My native language is not English. So it's a long time I don't speak English because I cannot travel anymore in this moment of problem with virus. And I hope you understand me very well. I try to talk slow, but if you don't understand, just ask me to repeat. So I will start this presentation and with a few slides that are about me and my philosophy of taking picture underwater. I am a freelancer and photographer, and I love to define myself emotion hunter because I am passionate about traveling nature, and I was so lucky to visit some of the most remote places on the planet. I got some publication and I won some contest around the world. And this year I published my book. It's about the blue. It's called Tales from the Blue and Other Colors. I talk about photography, and there is also a flash course of photography at the end of the book. My photography is based on emotion. Emotion, you can read the definition of the dictionary here. And I don't read anything you can read, but I like this one, a risky and exciting adventure, to hunt for emotion. That's what I do when I take picture. I try to hunt for emotion. Emotional photography is my philosophy. And if you think that photography is one is a moment, is a hundred of second most of the time, and we make that instant eternal simply by pressing the button. So I say to the people who want to improve their photography not to think about, to focus only on the technical aspect. I am a self-taught photographer, and so I never given importance to this aspect of technical. You will see later some of my pictures that are technically poor, but won some interesting contest all around the world. So when I speak about photography, I teach focus on emotion. It's the word are feel the emotion and then give the emotion. Emotion is something that is coming not forced. It's absurd to say I must be moved. It's a contradiction in terms. So emotion comes alone when you abandon yourself to the beauty of a landscape or to the heartbreak of close encounters with animals. So let yourself go and have fun when you take a picture. It's not a job. Even if it's a job, don't take it as a job. Have fun, and then when you have fun, the best result come out. For me, I understand in the last years that photography is a path. There is no starting point, there is the final point. So if you understand this, you continue to improve yourself. And I am a self-made photographer, and I started to study a lot of images of other photographers to take inspiration and to understand the technique how this picture were made. So I try to make my personal language, because everyone has his own voice. You know that photography means writing with light, no? So everyone has his style of writing. Emotion and history. And when I check if my picture is okay, is a good picture, I ask to myself if this picture is able to tell a story. So the story can interest my audience and can become a very, very, very good picture all around the world. So the construction of the story is not made at the same time as take the shot, because often, especially in the naturalistic photos, the narrative takes place in real time. So you don't have the time to think about the story. Sometimes I can, sometimes I do that, it's fantastic, but sometimes the story can be constructed after. So I suggest to you, when you take picture, to give a title to your photo. That helps you to understand yourself and become critical on yourself. That is an indispensable element in the choice of your photo. The choice of the photo. Why is so important to choose your photos? I got friends who cannot choose the photo. There are two identical photos that they cannot choose. Probably nature of two is a good picture. So I use with my students the old technique of 1 of 36. You can read now that when you have only 36 poses, the teacher forces you to destroy forever 35 of this picture. And so you have got only the best one of your picture. Now that the world is digital, I do that immediately in my camera. So I delete immediately pictures, duplicate, and I invite you to do the same. It's a good exercise to improve the choose of your pictures. And also with the repetitive shot, 10 pictures of the same fish, just choose one directly in the camera. So when you come back from a holiday, I mean about travel photography, you should find a day to devote to composition of a photo album. choose the photo that represents your holiday. Normally, I got only one, and my best picture is the picture of the trip. And then I choose another 15 pictures. I put all together, and I print my album in large format, and I show to people to understand their suggestion, because also people who are not good in photography can give you a good suggestion. And we are nearly at the end of this long speech, then we go see some pictures. But I have to say to you that you have to approach the nature in a conscious way. I started this presentation with the definition of emotion because over the years I have learned not only to progress in photography, but also in approaching nature in a more conscious way. And so my photography has slowly become a photography of emotion. And I discovered that I was excited to portray nature and felt pleasure in seeing the people I showed the photos to receive a small part of that emotion. So let's go to underwater photography that is a little bit different than terrestrial photography, because everything moves underwater. The water moves, the photographer moves, the subject moves, and you have to try to find the right rhythm to have fun. So you have to move underwater with all these things underwater moving. And I think that the right rhythm is an essential element in photography, not only underwater. So let's see my equipment. A lot of people ask about my equipment, and that is with my beautiful model mermaid dress. And this is my underwater camera. I will show you when I finish the slide. And you see, this one is a Nikon D810 inside an electronic underwater housing, 2 strobes with the diffuser, and you can see also a small action cam and actually a GoPro. So what is my equipment? My equipment is a Nikon in the Leo 3 Easy Dive electronic underwater housing. This underwater housing is totally different from other underwater housing because it's totally electronic controlled. So the risk of leaking is very, 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 very low. So there you can see my subtronic strobes, and also I have 2 spare flashes from CNC. I go underwater with an action camera just in case there is something interesting to take footage or video, but normally I don't take, I take only pictures. And this is my other underwater housing for cellular phone, for smartphone. It's Bluetooth controlled. But I have also a small camera that is a Sony Alpha 6300 in this plastic underwater housing. And also sometimes I use the 316 degrees camera when I dive in some place with a lot of movement, etc. And people ask me, which lens do you use underwater? 90% of my shots you will see are taken with fisheye, Nikon 815. I do love this lens because sometimes you don't have to look and to just press the button and everything is in the frame, so it's okay. I also use the 2470 and the other wide 1635. I don't like this one a lot because of aberration. And for macro photography, I do love Nikon 60. I don't like a lot the 105. And sometimes I use the magnifier 5 and 10 pair. And these are my settings for wide angle and macro. Wide angle, when I jump in the water, I shoot underwater, everything in manual mode, no other modes for me underwater. I prefer to not let the camera choose what to do. I want me to tell the camera what to do. And I start with 320 second speed. The aperture is f8 and ISO 200. This is my normal setting. I use a lot of time underwater. Why so speed? Because I told you everything is moving underwater. So I want to freeze the action, and this is the maximum speed with the flash synchronization. So is 320 for me. When I go down and the light is going down too, I lower the speed, but never under 110, because with a lower speed, your picture will be blurred. Then if the light is low, I start to raise the ISO till 800. Microphotography is completely different because your subject is static, and a lot of time does not move. So I lower the speed, and I raise the aperture to f16 at minimum. So because the macro is made with strobe light, the light, so you have all the light you need to your subject. I raise the speed only for moving subject, for example, a clownfish in anemone, or I open to the maximum possible 2.8 for creative shots. So I talked you about to create your path. Are you able to define your photographic path in only three pictures? I've done this, and so these are my path till today, obviously, because I hope to put more beautiful pictures than this. And the first one is the dugong. You cannot believe, but it's true. I've taken this picture with a Sony T1 5-megapixel camera. You see in the hand how little is this camera. It was only 4 megapixels, and it was taken 16 years ago in Red Sea, and is actually still one of the most published pictures on the web about dugong. Then the second one is the squids. That was the winner of National Geographic Italy 2011 photo contest. First, I think between 24,000 pictures. And this was one of the very first pictures I've taken with underwater housing and Nikon. I think it was a Nikon D300 at the time, and Tokina lens, wide. And this one, remember me, an alien spaceship coming to me. And the third one is the ghost turtle. It's the overall winner of a spherical photo contest 2019. First, between, I think, it was around 20,000 pictures. And this is the picture that was taken by using the swirl technique. That means I was turning the camera on its axis while shooting. So you can see I have done with all these lightning brushes around the turtle, and these are made by moving the camera. So if you want to see my works, I will show you later if you want, but just put my name in Google, you will see everything. I am on Instagram, Facebook, and I have my website, and you can also read my book if you want by looking them on Amazon. So I finished my slides, and I introduce you to see some pictures. I want you to dive with me in different parts of the world, and we will see whales, humpback whales, sharks, a lot of sharks, sea lions, marlins, mermaids in the first part. Then after question and answer, we will dive in Indian Ocean and with macro and ultra macro, and we will dive in Maldives. And so it's time to start to see my picture, but before I want you to show, I want to show, let me pass to the, okay. This is my underwater housing. Can you see? Do you see my housing? It's okay? It's here. And this is the back. You can see it's okay. It's electronic, no holes. no horse replication. Everything is electronic. And this is the other housing for the smartphone. You take a smartphone and you put inside, and it's Bluetooth controlled. Very, very, very interesting. So I start to show you some pictures. I ask again if you can see the pictures. One moment, I start. Okay. You should see squids. Is it okay? Can you see?
Yes, we do see.
Okay. This is the three picture of my path I showed you before. The squids and dugong, 5 megapixel, incredible. And this is the ghost turtle. Now you can see that the good of the picture is that the eye is in focus. Very lucky shot. So let's swim with waves. Let's start from outside the water, and this is what taken in Mexico. It's a humpback whale. It's 14 meters long, and it is jumping just in front of me. And again, then you can dive with whales, and you can swim with whales. And there are a few places in the world when you can swim with whales. Everything is made in snorkeling because these animals are really fast, and with one tail they go 100 meters away from you. And I dove with whales in the kingdom of Tonga in Polynesia and in French Polynesia. These pictures were taken in French Polynesia 2 years ago. And I'd like to see, if you see the eye, it's a little, it's big or little as a grapefruit. And I imagine the comparison with our eyes should be like a pin. So this animal is fantastic. And this picture were taken all with fisheye. And imagine that this animal was really, really, really close to me. It was few meters from me. And this comparison with the snorkelist, you can see it's 14 meters and we are 2 or less. And this is the best picture of my whales. I got lucky to have 5 humpback whales altogether with these fantastic ray lights. And so I take the picture, and you can see the line of the fisheye. So every time I show you an animal, I will say this is my picture. So if I have to choose, this is only one picture to show to you. This is the picture I will show to you. Let's go to the shark. Shark, I wrote in my book why you don't have to be in fear with sharks. And I've taken a lot of pictures of sharks underwater in some parts of the world. This was taken in Red Sea in Sudan a lot of time ago. It's a female of a gray shark. And this is what taken in Maldives. There are baby sharks, very, very small shark in Suvadiv atoll. And this is a baby shark less than 1 meter long. And also, this is a gray shark too in Maldives. I call this picture the carrier, because you can see this suckerfish, a lot of suckerfish that were carried by this shark. Another shark, I like this one because of the 2 lines diagonal of the composition. The shark is going from left top to the right bottom, and the fish is to the other side on the back. And this is why we take pictures underwater. There's a friend of mine. The shark is coming, you focus on the shark, and then we shoot where the shark is coming. When you make bubbles, normally the sharks go and bye-bye. So you have to breathe normally and not to make a lot of noise. This is a black and white of the shark taken in Sudan. And this is a very, 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 very inoffensive shark. despite it looks like a vampire, and it's a new shark. Don't eat meat. Only looking for the crabs on the sand. And I like this one because of the small fish, the small sergeant fish in the front of the shark. Again, this one was taken during a night dive in Alimata Island in Maldives. And this is the lemon shark. Picture was taken in French Polynesia. And this one is the down under technique. You have to focus on the animal underwater, and then you raise the camera half and half, and you shoot. The difficulty of this picture is to have everything in focus is nearly impossible. You will see in another picture with the whale shark what I mean. And about the sharks, everyone thinks that the shark is big, huge, and dangerous. This is a white tip reef barrier shark with a small suckerfish here and a small triggerfish, blue triggerfish, and they look like very big and very hungry. Looks like it want to eat you. But look at the next picture. It was a baby shark, really unoffensive one. This was taken in Maldives too. These are swimming with shark in French Polynesia. You see, you can swim with shark with no danger at all. And this was a free diver with a lemon shark. And you see, it's like a rodeo with all the people chasing the shark, not the opposite. And this is another way you can dive with shark. I don't like it a lot. I made it only once in my life. And this is the shark feeding. This is the bull shark in Mexico, in the Costa Maya, exactly in Playa del Carmen near Cancun. And they feed the shark with small pieces of tuna, and they are coming. And this one is the best picture I've taken there. And you can see here in the left side of this female, these are called love bites, are the bite of the man of the shark, who bites the woman during the reproduction time. So they call love bites. Again with the shark feeding, and then go to the one of the most beautiful shark in the world. Think that there are 500 different species of shark. This one, in my opinion, is the beautiful one. Is also called the gentle giant because of his gentle swimming and his fantastic skin with all these white dots. It's completely inoffensive because feed on plankton or small fishes. This picture was taken in Rajan Pat, or better in Cenderawasih Bay in Papua, Indonesia. So the gentle giant, I was lucky to see a lot of them together under a fishing platform. You can spot 4 or 5 whale shark in this frame, but I was diving with 10 of them all together. It was an unbelievable diving. So lucky, a friend of mine told me, go down a few meters and take the picture with the sun on the backlight. It's a good idea for me. And you have every time have to talk to your friends and to the guide to get suggestions. And this is the way I talk to you. It's the plankton. This is one not taken in Indonesia, but in Baja California Sur in Mexico, where you have the 95% possibility of 100% possibility to dive with the whale shark. But as you may see, the visibility is not so good because of the plankton the shark is eating. And again, in Mexico, not good visibility. Back to Indonesia, fantastic visibility. So again, I show you a few pictures of the whale shark eating small fishes and plankton. And this one is, the story is in my book. the story of the chopped fin of the whale shark. This picture was on the National Geographic Italia website. Because of this chopped fin is obviously human action, and we still don't know if it's finning. I don't think so. They think that the shark was in the net, the fishing net, and the fishermen, instead of cutting the net, cut the fin of this poor animal. And this is my best shot with the face shark. It's called many shark, not a fantastic title, but it's made with the down under system, and this for me is a picture that tells the story. So the picture has errors. You may see that the right fin is not all in the frame, but who cares? The picture is telling a story and is giving emotion. It's giving the idea to you to be there in the water with me while I was taking the picture. So that's why this picture was so good in different contests, photo contests. Let's go to the kick of the shark. It's the great white shark. The great white shark is 4 or 5 meters long, and this picture well taken in Guadalupe Island, that is in the Pacific Ocean, 20 hours of sailing from San Diego, California. It's a very, very, very rough trip. We have only half day to take picture, but honestly speaking, if I speak of emotion, I don't like at all this experience, because the people in the cage were all doing like a job. So they were hitting the iron bars of the cage because they were told that the shark is attracted by the noise. So it's one not so mystic that I expect. That's me in the cage with a selfie. There are 2 cages when you see this magnificent animal. One in the surface, this one, and one in the bottom. I only spent a few minutes there, but this was really good. Alone with the sharks, it was fantastic. And I like this one because of the small fish. I call it the David and Goliath, with the small fishing hiding under this big male shark, white shark. It's a male, you can see here. And I show you some pictures. It's getting speed, really, really impressive. This one was the cover of a magazine called Quercus. And another one I have on my shoulder, and this is the best one I've taken. This is the, you have everything here, the eye, the Lorenzini ampolla, the teeth, the nose, everything. So if I had to choose only one picture, this is my picture of a great white shark. So you didn't know, I don't know if you don't know if these are eagle rays and mantas are the same family of the sharks, but the mantas are really inoffensive, and they were taken all in movies. So let's go to the seals. Where to photograph the seals? The seals are one of the subjects most funny to take picture too. This is in Mexico too. There is a colony of nearly 400 seals, or better, there are sea lions, because the seals do not have ears while sea lions have. And it's really, really funny. They are very, very playful, and they come to you for playing. And this is the picture that tells the story. It's called the Gimme 5. Nice picture I've taken. And look at these eyes, look at you, very, very curious. So you can interact with the sea lions. I suggest you, if you have the time, and if you want to take a funny picture, not deep, not difficult, go to Baja California Sur. And I spent there 7 years taking picture of these playful animals. The only thing you have to beware is the macho. The man is 3.5 meters long, and the fan it's harem of sea lions, female sea lion. And I will show you why in the next picture, but before, this is my best picture of sea lion that was carrying me as sea star to play, but I was at the end of my shooting, and my Stroh's battery were low, and only the right flashes worked, so I got this wonderful shades on the left of the image, so it's another lucky shot. But if I have to show you a picture, this is my picture of sea lion, puppy sea lion carrying the sea stars. This picture is called the offer. And I saw you that they are very friendly, like dogs, you can caress. And I take also a selfie with my camera, with the fisheye, you can take a selfie. And this playful sea lion was eating, biting my Stroh's cables, so I have to push him a little bit away from me. Again, another picture, and I told you I was in a cave taking picture of this puppy, and the man attacked me and cried to me. Luckily, I've taken this picture, and you can see he's crying, air underwater, and the puppy was afraid, and luckily I didn't know what to do, so I left the area immediately with no problem, no danger for me. Also, I want to show you 3 pictures of cormorant taking underwater. This I like a lot because it looks like the golden rule of composition. If you don't know what the golden rule is, try to look in the internet and you'll find easily. And you can see here the school of sardine is opening while the cormorant are hunting underwater. So we are nearly going at the end of the first part of my exhibition of picture, and I will show you now mermaid and then the marlins, and then we can go to question and answer. Is it okay? I go on. This is my only. It's okay, okay. This is my only self-production with models underwater. I put mermaid tail, they are good free divers. And I called this project is a 3 years project called the 7th continent. I want the mermaid, the siren, interact with sea lion. So the place is the same as before, as the sea lion, and you see this one is called the voyeur. The seal look at me like he was with his girlfriend. What do you want from me, photographer? And this is the dance, sea lion dancing with a mermaid. You see, I used different models during the years, and this is another dance with the sea lion. And this is my best shot with a beautiful mermaid coming with me with a very, very, very nice light. Then we go on the last part of the first part of the presentation. This is an incredible experience I made last October, was October 2019. I hope I can do again in 2020, it's already scheduled, but who knows. And this is the sardine bait bowl. It's 3 hours navigation from the coast of Mexico in the Pacific Ocean. There you can find bowls, school of fish of sardines, and the marlins are hunting inside, and there are also sea lions hunting there. It's an incredible story of life and death, and you can see this is the marlin is like a swordfish, and they hunt the sardine with the sword, and they go very, very fast in the bowl and try to get one fish. When you get the fish, you go out, throw the fish in the glue. There you can see I wounded a sardine with a sword. It's still going and turning with the glue. And when the marlin succeed in this hunt, he go out and throw the sardine in the blue, and in that moment, all other marlins and sea lions come trying to steal the fish. In this picture is the only one I was able to do is the fish is in the spur in the sword of the marlin, and then is in the blue in the mouth of the fish. I was nearly inside the group. I was a little bit not so calm because there were marlins everywhere, and this is a close-up of the marlin, and this is my best shot of the marlins. This is the cover of my book in the Italian language edition. And I think this picture really tells the story with the marlin with the good lights in the first place and the sea lion on the back in the inside of the Bible. So guys, I finished my first part of the presentation, and before going on, I wait for your question. I only ask to you to speak slowly because of my English, so maybe I ask to you to repeat sometimes.
Yep. Sure, and the amazing, beautiful work which we have seen. It's a beautiful underwater images which you have created. Thank you very much for that. We have a couple of questions. One of the question is the brand name of your housing. If you housing like what's the brand you have?
Yeah,
If you
the brand is Easy Dive. It's an Italian brand. Easy Dive. Wait, okay. Can read.
easy dive. Okay.
It's the only electronic underwater housing in the market. What is good about this housing? When you change camera, you don't have to change this housing. So I changed the 4 cameras as today. I only changed the firmware. I show you inside. Let me show you something. It's very heavy for me. Okay, this is inside. You see, and I take the basement where you put your camera. So you put your camera here. You connect with USB and with the shutter button control and the strobe control. You put the camera inside and you don't have to be aware of the leak. This one is tested, I think, till 60 meters, but you can have it 150 meters, but it's a professional one.
Okay. Thank you. What tool do you use for post-processing your underwater images?
I use Photoshop, but honestly speaking, I don't work a lot on my pictures because my pictures, if you have a good light, you don't need post-production. For example, the picture of this sea lion has nearly no post-production at all because the light was lucky shot, but the light was good for me, and I nearly left like it was taken. So I open my raw file in Photoshop. Maybe I crop sometimes. I crop a lot in the macro. We'll see in the next part. But I make just a little bit of contrast. Really not at all.
Okay. Another question is for beginners. Which housing do you suggest?
For the beginners, I every time suggest to take compact camera with a plastic underwater housing. You have a problem with leaking, but the money you invest in that is not so much like this one. This one is my my year could be a lot of thousand of US dollars worth. So I suggest to you, when I was in Mexico taking picture of the marlins, I have a group with beginners, and I told them, we were in snorkeling, we were not diving, and I told them to buy a camera that can go 10 meters deep. I can say, can I say brand name?
Yes.
It's or Nikon or Fuji. I switched it to Fuji that has very good colors underwater. And this is no housing. It's all on the camera. If you want to put a camera underwater, let's start with for example, sea frogs or something like that. You put on the internet, you put your camera, Sony Alpha 6000, and you look for the underwater housing. It's maybe 200 to 300 bucks. And you start with this. Then you put a light. The strobe is essentially underwater photography. When I was younger, at the beginning, I didn't use strobe light. And when I started with one strobe light, I immediately realized that I need two. So if you want to go on in the underwater photography, follow this path. Start with the compact camera. If you feel yourself that you are good, you can spend money improving your equipment.
Okay, great. Another question we have, how dangerous it is to work with shark? I know you have answered already. Like, have you ever faced any aggressive shark or any life-threatening situation?
The first thing you have to understand when you dive is to follow the rules. And the first things to do is to follow what your guide is saying to you. So if the guide is saying, don't put your arms large, you don't have to put your arms this way. I I was in the shark feeding, as you may see before. The guide told me, stay down. At the beginning of the shooting, I was standing immediately. And then one shark give me head because it takes bubble from another diver, and the only way to go was me, and I was knocked down. So it hit my camera. I have nice footage of this. My red filter on my GoPro going in the blue because of the head with the bull shark. So every time follow the rules. Other things you have to know is that the shark does not attack you immediately. If the shark won't attack you, you don't see it. You are dead immediately. So if the shark is coming, because the shark are curious animals, the shark is coming and you have to see what it's doing with the eye. I don't know what to say in English. It's this part. If this part of the eye is going down, the shark feel itself in danger or prevent from his eye from danger when attacking. So if the shark is closing its eye while coming to you very fast, it's time to go and bye-bye. But I never experienced that. The most dangerous thing I've made while diving underwater are two. One is the Titan triggerfish. It's a big fish that defends its nest from people going above the nest and attack you with very big teeth. And the other one was the stonefish. I was in Mexico and I didn't take attention. I thought I was in the rocks where there was nothing. I put my hand on the bottom and I put it on this venomous fish, and it was terrible. One day with pain in my hand, but luckily no consequence.
Okay, thank you. We guys, if you have any question, raise your hands. We will add you and we will unmute you. Adele, you can continue with the second part. We have more questions. compiling them. So you
Okay.
can continue with the second.
Okay. One moment, I start. And okay. The second part we have seen is more on the macro photography. What we have seen before is all wide angle and fisheye. Now start a completely different kind of photography because we are looking for the small thing. I start with this picture. Can you see?
You can see that.
Okay, this is a nudie branch. It's maybe 2-3 centimeter long, and I put this picture because this is the camera with it's the underwater housing you are seeing. You were seeing before, and this is the 60 macro lens. So imagine how small are the things we are looking to. The best place in the world to take picture of macro is obviously Indonesia, because there are a lot of different critters and a huge biodiversity. And you can dive and spot 300 different species of animals in the same dive. So it's tricky, but really amusing to take picture of small things, and it's like a path also where you can look for smaller and smaller animals, even smaller. Look at this! Look at this! What is this? Can someone tell me what is this with this animal? It's
No,
smaller than a finger.
no idea. It seems like jellyfish.
I now you can see. You can tell me.
Is it a jellyfish?
No, it's a squid. It's a baby newborn squid. You
Okay.
see, you see as small as oh sorry, you see as small as it is the nail, half of a nail. So it's I didn't see when I was taking picture. The guide was pointing at me and saying, what are you want me to shoot? And finally I saw this fantastic animal, and then we started a fantastic muck dive. What is a muck dive? Muck dive is a dive on the sand. When you start, you see nothing, and while going on, you see everything in the bottom, small creatures, crabs, everything in nudie branch, and also small squid. And this is also to make you understand how small are the things that you can shoot while going for a macro. Another thing to say when you want to do macro photography is that macro, when you start diving for macro, you start for macro. You have a different setup. The light arms are shorter, and the illumination is completely different. While in the wide angle is open arms of the flashes of the strokes, in the macro, you have to put the light on the side of the subject or on the back if you want to be creative with your light. But everything is really close to the subject. And I show you, this is one of the most beautiful animal in the world. I'm sure you have not spotted it yet, but I help you. It's the pygmy seahorse. This animal is 3 millimeter long. Incredible. I put this stick of the guide to make you understand. It's like the point of a pencil, you know. And this animal, the Bargibanti, there are 4 species known of this animal, but still I have more to come because it's really difficult to spot in the Gorgonia. And this is fantastic. You have it in Indonesia, Malaysia, or Indian Ocean. This is a close-up of this animal, and I saw you. It's 3 millimeters long, and imagine this animal one here. You can see incredible small. So the nature is fantastic. And also, this is pregnant, and, and my dream is to see when is going the bird to the smallest beings in the world, I think. And gives you an idea. This picture is maybe 2-3 centimeters of gorgonia with the Denise, this kind of seahorse. It's called pygmy seahorse Denise. And also you can be creative, as I was talking before. On the picture before in the macro, I close the aperture to 18, 20, 20, 20, 36 if I can, because I want to have all the animal focused. But if you open the aperture to 2.8, for example, you can be creative in your underwater photography. And I want you to show how I take picture underwater while taking macro. Macro, I make the focus point at the very center position, and most of the time I crop the picture when I'm back. I show you why, because this is the orangutan crab on a bubble coral called Plerogyra sinuosa in Latin. And this is a fantastic animal. You can see, I call eyes, but it's actually blind. And they eat while with a small thing that the current takes to its arms. And I was so lucky to take him. Normally it's hiding inside the coral, the bubble coral, but I was so lucky to take the picture of the animal moving. So I don't have the time to compose the image as I wanted. But with my camera is the Nikon Nikon D810 is 36 megapixels, so I can crop the image without losing a lot of quality. So normally I take pictures central, and then I make a crop later. But if the subject is static, is not moving, I can compose directly when I'm taking picture. And that's what I show you my way of approaching the subject. This is taken with a Nikon 60 macro lens. You know, the minimum focus distance is around 10 centimeters. So I start to take picture from a long in the macro sense of distance. This is maybe 30 centimeters. Then, if I'm lucky, I can have some nice picture while coming very close to the subject. So I start taking one picture. So I start to teach myself the story of this young clownfish hiding in the elephant ear coral, and then I take this one very close, very close. This is a few centimeters from the subject. Other way to take picture with the nudibranch. Nudibranch are really small animals, gastrophods, and this is one of the best that nature gives us. Is called donut nudibranch. And I took this picture while going to the donut nudibranch, and this one is really close. It's not a good picture in the nature way of thinking about picture quality, because with these animals you have to get these antennas. It's called rhinophorus, I mean, maybe in English, and it was my mistake, but I love a lot the light of the body of this animal. Look like a sweet cake, a small piece of cake. And this is also good focused with these antennas, and Also, you can be creative by using the rule of third, one third of colors and two thirds of black, with another nudibranch. And also you can have, this is the same coral which we have seen before with the orangutan crab. And this is the small, really small crab that lives in the bubble coral. It's called Vir philippinensis in the Philippines, obviously. And you can see that in macro photography, the distance between the eyes and the arms of this animal could be really, really few millimeters, but this one is focused and this one, the other one is not focused. So it's really tricky to get a really perfect picture underwater in the macro. And I wonder if you can see anything in this picture. Can you see something? Can you see an animal or not?
We do something on the middle, the red, like there's some eye there on the right hand.
Yeah, you are focusing in this. This one is the eye of this is called the candy crab. Look at how magnificent is the nature. Is hiding, camouflaging in these soft corals, and it's fantastic. Now I think everyone can spot the animal because but when I was there with the guide, trust me, I didn't see anything underwater, and I continue to look at the guide, pointing the finger at these animals I didn't see. I only saw when I was back on the boat. So it's a really funny story, this one. And also, this one is something incredible. Looks like, did you watch the movie Avatar? I think it's the second part is coming out in 2021, and a lot of ideas of the world were taken from the underwater. Because underwater, the nature is an incredible artist and made this hairy crab inside the sponge. Really, really fantastic. This one too was 1 centimeter long. And so I talked to you about telling the story. I knew that the clownfish that is on the left have the habitude to lay eggs under the feet of the anemone. This one, pink spotted, is the feet of the anemone, and you cannot see now, but you can see later. I'm pointing here. These are the eggs of the clownfish. What happens that the porcelain crab, this one, is eating, is feeding of the eggs of the clownfish. So this is the story of a war between the clownfish and the porcelain crab. And I show you also how can be a macro photography used in different way. This is the story, and the next picture I was focused on these eggs. Look at these. These are the eggs of the clownfish. Incredible. You already see the eyes and something inside, but it's the same place where I take the picture before. So these down are these. So you can have two different pictures while taking pictures in macro. This is the most venomous snake in the world. It's called Lauticarda colubrina, I think, so I don't remember the English name, but for the humans it's not so dangerous. It's an underwater snake. It was taken during a night dive because his mouth is too little. You cannot be bited in your skin except between two fingers. Here you can be bited only here, so it's really venomous but not so dangerous for the humans. And this is a creative way to take picture and taking a story with the depth of fields. It's a clownfish inside anemone. All the pictures you have seen were taken in Indonesia and Malaysia and Philippines. And this one, I used the aperture, the depth of fields. I think this one was 5.6, and I raised the speed to 320 to have the tentacles of anemone freezed. So that's another different way to take a picture of macro underwater. This is a picture I like a lot because of the name of this crab. Really small crab. It's called popcorn crab, and you can see it's laying eggs inside his body. And I call father and son, no, but it's a really small vein. And this was taken in Raja Ampat, Indonesia. And this is another vein with eggs. It's the lobster, they call it mantis. It's one of the most colorful vein in the world. But while taking picture to this vein, you have not to go too close to, you have to pay attention not to go too close to this animal because it can break your camera lens with its arms because it's very powerful. If this is laying eggs, and look at the eyes. There are studies of these eyes with doctors and scientists because these eyes can see 36 degrees. So they are studying these eyes for some implementation of human help with medicine. And I show you the mantis shrimp with a small Antias fish, so you can see how beautiful colors can make in the nature. And this is the prize fish, looks like a really bad guy, and is hiding in the sand at night and open. The mouth has a very long red orange tongue that catches the fish while hiding underwater. This is a muck dive. You can see sand made in Philippines at night. And this is the frogfish. Normally the frogfish look like walking on the reef. And this one was incredible at jumping, and it's red skin, also not so common. So taken in Philippines. And this is the seahorse in a night dive. I like to put all the black in my picture. How to do that? You have to be lucky to have the subject at long distance from the reef or in the blue, in the water. And you close your aperture to 2018 and you work on the light of your strobes. So if you get the right mix between these things, you can get the black background. Also, you can get the black background with the nuke technique that is going, that's raising with underwater photography in these years. It's called a snoot. Basically, snoot is a piece of plastic put on the strobes that convey the light only in one point. And so you have all the animal in perfect isolation from the background. And this is the typical muck dive. You can find rubbish, but also small coconut octopus. And that's why we have to approach the nature in a conscious way. I don't want to take this kind of picture. I want to take this kind of picture. This is the boxer crab. The boxer crab is another beauty of nature. If you imagine that this crab put anemone that is a different vein in its arms to make the attacker confused by the anemone, because anemone is dangerous for 90% of the underwater vein, not the clownfish as you may see. And so the boxer crab, the pugilist crab, have a better chance to survive underwater. And this is, you can spot something here too. You can see something. I tell you, there is a fish.
We don't see.
It's called the ghost pipe fish. Why ghost? Now I showed you the fish. There comes the eye, you see. There comes the mouth. There comes the body and the fins. And he is hiding inside a crinoid. A crinoid is a kind of sea urchin, but imagine it's arms of coral. It's not a coral, but it's mimetizing, it's camouflaging. Now you can see. And this is really a beauty of nature, the ghost ornate pipe fish. I'll show you another picture. Now you saw the animal, and now you can understand, you can better view. I have isolated from the crinoid here and only focused on the fish, so you can understand that's a fish and not a piece of coral. So this one I like a most because it's really make confusion of the people who is looking. And I play a little bit and kidding a little bit with the guys. Can you see something? And they say, I cannot see anything. Oh, and then they say, oh, I see. It's really funny. And this one is another incredible beauty of the nature. This is called Harlequin crab. Hymenoptera picta is the name in Latin, and he feeds on sea star arms. This is a sea star arms. It cut from the sea star. You know that the sea star is one of the few beings in the world that can regrow some if they are cut. But I didn't realize that there was another host for the dinner, this small crab. Imagine that the Harlequin crab is 1 centimeter, and there was another being I didn't see when I was taking picture, only went back to my boat. And this was taken, I don't remember, maybe in Indonesia. So let me go to the final part of the macro, then we go to Maldives. This is a creative way of a macro. This is actually an eye of a crocodile fish. I do love this eye because it looks like a galaxy inside this eye. You can see this is the nose of the animal, and the mouth is over there, is not on the frame, but I focused only on the eye. So it looks like a modern painting of abstract art, but this is not made by me, it's made by nature. And also I focus on the really small polyps of corals. All the pictures you see now are corals, most of them taken in Rajan Path, where corals are fantastic. And this is, I cannot see millimeters, it's less than micromillimeter. This is an ultra macro taken with the magnifier sometimes. And this is the skin of the sea urchin. And also this is another kind of coral polyps, look like salad. And another hard coral, really, really close up. This one looks like another painting. And this, when I take this picture, another hard coral, I look like I was walking in a foreign, not in a foreign country, but in another world, in another planet. And it looked like an alien landscape, but it's made by nature underwater. No, I say to myself, I'm traveling to Saturn, and this is the valley of Saturn. And another really, really small animal. I didn't realize only yesterday when I take this picture. I choose this picture for the presentation. This is a sponge, but when I looked at the sponge, I saw that, there are three animals here. Where are the animals? And the first one is this one. I say, no, it's not an animal, but I go down and there are two and three of its kind. I can't imagine it is like really, really, really slow animals. Okay, it's time to go to the final part of the second part of the presentation, and I want to talk to you to Maldives, about Maldives. This is a picture I've taken with my drone, and this is my cruise boat on the right of this atoll. Maybe you are used in your ocean to see this beauty, but for me, for European people, this is incredible beauty of the reef, of the clear water, and these things I call in my book turquoise jewels, like a big, enormous hand squeezed the stone of blue and made this wonder. And when you go underwater in Maldives, you can have everything. And I talked to you about the sharks and why I was not so emotionally involved when taking picture of sharks, of great white sharks, but because in the Maldives you have to go for them. It's not easy to see shark underwater, and you have to go deep. You have to not to frighten the animal, and it's like a conquest. So it's really, really, really better to take a picture not at the zoo, like in the cage, than in free water while diving with the sharks. But there are not only sharks in Maldives. This is another picture made at sunset with my boat coming back from a dive. And you have a lot of stuff in the Maldives. These are turtles. This is green turtles, I think. And also, this is a creative vision of Murray. Normally, you can see Murray, you have to focus on the eyes. This one is not focused on the eyes, but on his mouth. And I like this one because the suspension made me look like I was in space. And remind me of an old movie. It's called Mars Attack. The boss from Mars look like this big head inside the spacesuit. And so this is my Mars Attack picture of the Murray. But also you can have really, really good corals in Maldives. There are soft corals, different colors, pink, orange, white, light blue, everything. And also I used the suspension that was on the right side to make like it was the sky in the night. So sometimes the suspension that we don't like help us in a creative way of taking picture. This is a really, really confident turtle. Looks like want to eat my camera. And these are two Murrays together, two different kind of Murray. The best one is the right Murray. It's called leopard Murray. I taken this picture, although it's not well focused because of the movement of the two friends who divided the same nest, despite being different species. And these are glasses fish with my guide in Maldives. I enlarged the picture, and you can see that there is a scuba diver behind this wall of glass fish. And this is another wonder of nature. Can you see anything here? I just...
Not again, no.
Can you see something here where I'm pointing to? It's not a rock.
Yeah, see, looks like eyes.
Do two eyes, and here, what is here?
Oh, it's a fish, like kind of lying down.
It's a flatfish, you know. Have you ever tried the flatfish on the market? It's white, no? Because it's dead.
Oh, okay, okay.
Underwater, the flatfish has these marvelous colors, look like a flower scarf. No, I would like to send this picture, and now you can see better. There I was tricky, just joking, just kidding a little bit. Now we can see the flat fish with the eyes, two eyes on the same side of the fish, and the mouth and the fin, and the dorsal fin here. And I want to send this picture to some fashion art factory like, I don't know, like Giorgio Armani, to make some dress, because I think nature sometimes is really, really miles in front of us with this color. No, it's fantastic. And when you see the fish dead on the market, it's completely white. You cannot imagine that the underwater can be so fantastic. And I got these colors because I had two strobes here. If you take this picture with no strobes, you get the gray of the sand. You get nothing. And this is also a wonderful, wonderful thousand, I can say, millions of glasses fish in a wreck in the Maldives, Kudagili, and I enlarge a little bit, but there are really, really glass fish everywhere, everywhere. This is taken with a fish eye, and you can see that I made a mistake with my right strobe, was a little bit too strong, and these fishes are too light. I cannot recover this picture, but I told you I prefer to give emotion than to be technically perfect. So this picture is not technically perfect, but gives you the idea, a huge amount of animals all together. And this is the Napoleon fish. It's a big fish, and looks like the nature made another trick for us to go inside this labyrinth. It's like a game. Who will find the exit here? No, sometimes we have this game of the enigmistic papers and enigmistic magazine, and it's a huge fish that changes the color of the skin from when he is young is white, nearly white, and then when he's old, it's this fantastic green and blue. And this is another diver with I call the fish rain. This is called Luthianid fish, or someone is not the pajama fish, but it's called Luthianid fish. And you can see the eyes of my friend are really, really, really. He's really amazed of his. He's a very, very expensive diver, and still feel the emotion when seeing such a beauty of nature underwater. And this is the classical picture of a clownfish, but the anemone was closing at night. It's start to close. This is the pink you see. It's the feet of the anemone, and you see the tentacles are going inside. And I took this picture. For me, it's a normal picture, because for underwater photographer, clownfish is a simple subject, not difficult subject to shoot. But I like. I showed this picture to the people, and everyone has said me it's a nice color contrast. So I showed them. If it was my picture, I didn't take care of this picture, but I see that people enjoy it. Why not to show this picture? And that's me underwater. It's around 30, I can see in my computer, 31 meters depth, 0.6, 31.6 in a Subadiva atoll in Maldives. It's not a selfie. I gave the camera to a friend of mine to take this picture, and there you can see the lines of the fisheye going all around, and also picture with the fisheye You can see how beautiful are these coral in the Maldives. The grouper here with the rain coral, everything around, and also the acropora and in the fantastic colors, different colors of the grouper here red, this fish. It's a grouper, spotted grouper, but there are a lot of fishes in Maldives, a lot of colors, but I was really close with my fish eye, so I can get the right light with my strokes. If I was 1 meter behind, I get this kind of color on the left, gray, nothing. So you have to pay attention to put your lenses, right lenses, know your lens, know your equipment, and know your power of the flashes. I already told to you that I go with my flashes half power at the beginning of the dive, and then adjust the strobes belonging to the right situation. I choose the right amount of light that I want. And that's a world underwater of corals with the divers here and here. And that's the turtle, traveling turtle. That is the cover of my book. I will show you later. And this is we are nearly at the end. We have, I think, only 2 shots left. This is the use of a fisheye in macro. It's called the wide angle macro. So you have to go really close to the subject. I was 5 centimeters for the subject, and you focus on the subject. Normally you put the light of the sun by pointing the camera on in the top direction and the surface direction, and you get a fantastic underwater macro. And the last picture, not the last picture, I will leave you with not an underwater picture. It's the technique I was talking to you about before, that was the technique of the swirl or twist technique. I prefer to call twist, I like more this word. It consists of turning the camera on its axis while taking the picture. So you paint, literally paint with light your frame. The strobes are supposed to freeze the animal, and the movement of the camera do the rest. So you have to lower your speed. This is, I think, 1/16 second. I don't remember, 1/13 maybe, and the only case you can shoot not at manual, or you can shoot speed priority, but I do prefer do it manually. I will show you soon how to turn the camera underwater. You can try this also outside the water, but since the camera must be turned on its axis, outside the water you will shake your hand more than in water. In this case, water helps you to keep your camera on the axis. And I want to leave with one picture I've taken in my hometown in Genoa. And I want to talk just a little bit about the virus we are experiencing now. In Italy, you know, the situation is really bad, a lot of dead every day. Now they are lowering, but yesterday nearly 500 people died. And here in Italy, I don't know if everywhere in the world, the rainbow became the symbol of this war we are making against the coronavirus. So I've taken this picture in Genoa. It's a sperm whale in Genoa, and the rainbow is naturally, intentionally. I've taken a lot of pictures of cetacean outside the sea because we are lucky to have a lot of whales in Genoa. And I noticed that the boat was in the right place at the right time, and when the sperm whale blew, the light made a rainbow, like when it's after the storm. So I want to finish my presentation with this picture, hoping that everything will be okay in the future. And I hope to come soon to your country. I've never been there, but I plan to do that. And I hope also if you can join me one on my expedition in California or in Maldives. You can find my expedition in my photographic expedition in my website, etc. I want to show you how the twist technique is made. Yeah, this is my button to take picture, the shutter button. So I do that. You see the axis. I take this one, wow, this way. This is the technique to take the picture I show. So I hope you enjoy my presentation. I was so happy, and I must thank Chiiz to have invited me. Hope my English was good for you, but really tricky for me, and I will be delighted to answer your question.
It was pleasure was all ours. Thank you very much. Your images are so good. We can see all day long there. And the reason was to understand the process behind that, how difficult it is, how much efforts goes to create one image. But before that, you're welcome to India. We would love to host you. And a couple of people have asked that how they can join some of the expeditions which you do. We will share those details to them. And as you said that they can visit your website and you do it in Maldives.
See, you can go here if you give me. If you give me the
You want to share your screen? Okay, sure.
I will show you two things: my address, and then I will show you. This is okay. Sorry. Okay. You can put my name in Facebook. You can go to my website, but it's only presentation. In the modern fast world, everyone is using social media. Instagram, you can see something different there. And there is a link from my books. If you got it, I can show you the website. It's not my website. It's the website of a tour operator who host me my expedition. So I'm not involved in the organization, but I am the tour leader of this. I put you in English here. Okay. You still see my address, right?
We do see.
Sorry?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, now I put my Google Chrome page. Okay, start sharing. Okay. Can you see? You have the address?
Yes, yes, we can see. Baja California.
We were planning to replicate the tour we made in October, and it's planned on October 23, October 31, 2020. You don't need to be a diver, snorkeling, but if you want to dive with sea lion, it's better if you do that, because if you make it snorkeling, you have to use the jacket. So it's really impossible to take a good picture with the sea lion. With the marlin, you don't have to put the jacket. You can if you want for your safety, and you can read everything. But obviously, we don't know if the tour will take place this year or 2021. Also another tour with whales, humpback whales, but not diving with them in Mexico in February or March 2021. You will see in these pages if it will be available in the future. Okay?
And do you do some tours in Indonesia too?
I'm making tours in Maldives, but normally I am a guest because I do like to take my picture. But I am planning to do something maybe in February 2020. It could be a photographic expedition, but I still don't know because everything is on standby now, and we have to set up. So if I will for sure publish in my Facebook if I do that.
Okay, we have some question. One of the question is about the photos which are there behind you, the prints, big prints.
Which one?
So can you tell about those photos that a whale looks good?
I can tell, obviously. This one is okay. The white shark. These one are striped dolphins. I made in Genoa, and oh, this one is called. I love a lot. It's made in Australia. It's called the Matador, the bullfighter. It was really funny. This one on the bottom is made in fresh water in cave diving in Mexico, and it was published on National Geographic. This one you saw, it's touch me. This one I don't know if you can see now. It's not in the frame.
We can see.
And this is a big one I already shown you. If you want, I can look for the picture on my hard disk, but I have more than 500,000 pictures, and it could be tricky for me to find fast.
Right. We have a question from Hers. Hers, you can unmute and ask.
Hello, sir.
Hello, ciao.
Sir, I wanted to know about the underwater cinematography. Like, what are the equipments required? Can it be done using any action cam, or there is a necessity of having professional gears?
So I use action cameras. I use the GoPro or the DJI action cam. These are really good for video. For video, it's fantastic. And you can get a lot of accessories to make the down under. But for photography, they are not so good at the moment. So the better is to put your phone inside an underwater housing like this. It's expensive, but your phone too is expensive, and you will take better picture. But action cam for me, I go underwater with action cam. So I use when there is for example, a shark frenzy, something like that. I take pictures I take video while taking picture because my action cam is here. I put my action cam here, so it's something like that. So I can take picture while taking footage in the same moment. So I can say to begin you can do it with the camera. Normally, I don't like a lot to take footage and video, so I focus on the camera, and that's why I was saying try a compact camera, etc. But action cam is very useful because it's small. But small means that sometimes a problem because if it's too small, I have the habitude to have this big, enormous stuff in my hand that is still doesn't move like that. It's still. Camera, if you shake your arms, everything is shaking. So when I take underwater footage, I try to take in a professional way, so I don't move the camera. I leave the camera still and let the things pass on through. So I don't make this kind of stuff, shaking, following the animals. I just take the camera there, and the animals makes the show. That's all.
Okay. We have a thank you. We have another question. What are the underwater ethics for divers and photographers?
Say it again, please.
What we do or not to do underwater?
What to do and not to do.
Yeah, discipline underwater.
The discipline underwater depends of your behavior with the nature. I think if you are here listening to an Italian guy talking so enthusiastically about underwater photography and nature, you cannot be this kind of man who goes to take the picture at any cost. So the picture must be taken in a conscious way, in a ethical way, in the respect of nature. I show you a lot of picture of macro. That means that I go close to the subject, a few centimeters. I go close to the subject here. I am here. So the first thing I do underwater is to take a good position. Try not to hit the coral. I will destroy the coral and will kill the small animal, and nobody else can take this picture. So there is a phrases I put in my book. I have to read in English. I want you to. I want you to. And it's about nature. And it's saying that nature is not a place to visit. Nature is home. And that's why I'm saying what to do or what not to do in underwater. It's up to you, but if you go only for taking picture, it's not to do that. It's, you have to go to enjoy the environment and the beauty of nature, and think how lucky you are to be there. Think you have the privilege to explore the depth. So the first thing is I'm here, I'm breathing underwater, I'm looking at this incredible wonder of nature. And if you want, and if we have the time, I want to read a few words that are not mine, but are from Jacques Cousteau. You know who Jacques Cousteau was, no? After the magical moment in which my eyes opened in the sea, it was no longer possible for me to see, think, live like before. That's happened to me. I don't know if you are scuba divers or not, or only enjoy going to the sea to take pleasure. But the first time you open the eyes underwater, you change completely the vision of the world. So the long reply to this question is what to do or what not to do. I think I have replied to you. Hope you understand what I said.
Yes, yes. So we have a question about the fish where there was only one fin, the another one was cut. So did you follow the story? Someone else spotted that, or what happened to that fish?
Which fish? Sorry.
One had only one fin, other one was likely would have been cut by fishermen.
Sorry, I don't,
Shark.
the fish with the porcelain crab.
No, the one which had one fin was cut by human.
The whale shark.
Yes.
The whale shark. So the story is in my book. I was in Papua, Indonesia, and I take this picture. And when the shark came, I was astonished because I saw this chopper. So I came back to our base camp, and I talked to the man who is supposed to be the boss, and I showed the picture. Immediately he said, "Yes, it's chopped by human, but I don't think it's for finning, for sale fins to the Chinese market." That's the question is what happened to the shark. You saw the picture is a really fresh cut, so I really don't know if it get infected or not. But in my experience, I saw a lot of sharks or other underwater beings which were wounded and still survive. Also, there is a whale with with a cut. Half of the tail was cut. Don't know why, and it was seen 24 years later. 2 days ago, is still alive. So I hope the shark is still alive. Who knows? I also noticed that there is a hook in the bottom part of the body, so it's no was not so lucky shark.
Very interesting stories. Um, we have another question. Who is your inspiration?
I take inspiration from looking at the picture of the other people. Also, a lot of inspiration get me while surfing on Facebook because I have a lot of friends, most of them are underwater, and sometimes they put their works on Facebook and say, "Ooh, great shot! This one I want to not do the same because this is imitation. I want to get inspired. I want to show you something. If you give me the ability of share, I want to show you the picture that inspired the ghost turtle who won the spherical contest in 2019. Can you give me the okay, start sharing. There it goes. You can see you can see this picture of the turtle. You can see
Yes.
this is the picture I taken inspiration. This great photographer was in Genoa, in my hometown, for a workshop. I participated and showed this picture. I was really impressed. I said, "This is one of the best pictures I ever seen in my life." And he explained to me how he made. It's not twist. It's like a penning. So when I was back to my hometown, I said, the next time I go to Nordics, I want to take a picture of turtle swirling. And that's what happened. The first dive, I met the turtle, and this was the second picture I made with this technique. So I'm very lucky, but it's a thought shot. It's not only a lucky shot. When you're all photographer, you must be lucky with your pictures. But I get inspiration in this way. Not do the same, but get inspired. And I talked to the Alberto Balbi and said, "Oh, I stole you the idea." And it was so humble to say me, "Andrea, you don't steal anything. You only got inspiration. I'm proud you got inspiration from my works." So you can see my Instagram. I'm not only a photographer, also my underwater is my passion. And can see something, and if you want to go and in touch with me, I will be glad. And this is the book I was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the English version with pictures in the paperback, and this one is English version with no picture. The Italian version has no picture because this is a book about photography without picture, and this paperback or also digital edition. And if you want to read at the end of the book, you have a what I call a flash instant course of photography, where I talk about the things I have spoken to you. Okay. And also you can find the basis of my composition of photography. I use very simple rules of photography. I only use the centration and the rule of thirds. That's what I have in mind when I take picture. And no, you don't need anything more, anything else if you have emotion. You see, and every time smiling, every time passionate, you know, and that's why people like my works. These are orcas in Genoa. It was very strange to get orcas. A lot of pictures you can see here are taken in, worldwide. This is on Hong Kong. You can see Hong Kong in, from the peak. Maybe you are closer to this town. You can go to have such fantastic view. And this is the cover of my book in Italian. This is in Italian, but if you want to read it, it's better for you to read in English. So you will read a lot of things I explained, but it's better to get in touch personally, no? Like
Sure. We would suggest people to check it out on Amazon. It is available. Uh, Thank you. We have another question. What is the most unusual creature you have seen underwater?
This is a tricky question because it's like what is your best picture you ever taken before? I must say that the one it's difficult for me to reply. Honestly speaking, I do love mammals, so the most incredible animal I've seen underwater is for sure the whale. But the most incredible animal is underwater is maybe the pygmy seals. Is really a joke of nature. 3 millimeters long, and you have to stay in the front of Gorgonia, looking at nothing. Then the guide point at you, and you still see nothing. Then you say, "No, it's incredible, so small, so small." So I'm sorry, I cannot reply. This is the most incredible animal, but I have to reply with two animals. If you have me to choose, I started the presentation. You have to choose. You have to choose. You have to choose only one photo. I would say the humpback whale.
Sure. Thank you for that. It's already we are close to our webinar. We have a lot of questions. We are not taking them because some of the questions are already answered in this session. You can go ahead and listen online. We will be putting this recording.
Okay.
what's your closing comment? What you would like to say? The time to, we are almost close to the.
I want to say that
Yeah.
I hope everything is gonna be okay, and I want to thank you very much because it's the first time for me that I take a presentation in English, and for me it was really tricky, but I was calm, I was excited, and I think that this way of communicate and your idea to put a lot of webinar with different presentation is really, really useful. And I starting to follow presentation too, to learn and to follow my path of photography. I want to say it again, what I started. The photography is a path you never, never arrive. So improve, improve, improve. And I would like to improve myself. Every single day I take picture. And so I suggest to you, keep on taking picture, but put your emotion inside your picture. Get emotion and give the emotion. So ciao ciao a tutti.
Thank you very much, and thanks for being a part. We happen to have you our editor as well, and you took our magazine to underwater once. So that was really a good surprise for us. Thanks, thank you very much. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you very much, and do donate to Prime Minister Fund.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is the picture you took 3 years back when you
Yes,
were going for an expedition.
I wondered it was the day I took the picture of the sperm whale blowing the rainbow. You see the sperm whale in the panel, in the bottom of the picture, the big whale we have in Genova. And there is the guys, my friend of the whale watching. Just in case you came to Genova, we got together to make whale watching as soon as we can go outside our house. It's
Sure.
6 weeks for me in my house now. I'm turning crazy.
Sure. Sure, I'm sure everything will be all right. Everyone, stay safe. You also take care. And thank you very much once again.
Ciao.
Bye.